Okay, so now that you have a list of all the different parts that you want to put into your business time, your business hours, you really need to set those business hours and look at your calendar, look at your schedule, and know what time of what days are you going to be working. If you were a brick and mortar business, you would need to have some business hours. Now, not everybody can look at their calendar and see, oh, I have this wonderful chunk of time to do my business. You might not have an hour or two to sit down and do your business like Elizabeth and I sat down here to work on the puzzle for a big chunk of time. So you might not have that. You might be more like the person that kind of comes in and just touches their business a little at a time and can only do one piece of it at a time. And that's okay. Whatever your schedule is, whatever your life is like, that's why we love this business, because you can adapt it to fit you. So the really great thing, I have a few different suggestions that have helped me. One is that it would be really helpful to put your information, or to put all the stuff that you need for those different aspects of your business into different folders, and just have them so that when you have that 15-minute block of time, or maybe you're just like, okay, I don't know when my child's going to go down for a nap, but when they do finally fall asleep, that's when I'm making my booking calls. So you grab your booking call notebook. You're like, okay, they're asleep. I think they're finally down. Grab the notebook and just start writing down, going through your leads that you have. Have it for each different aspect of your business, and that will help a lot. Another thing that you could also just do it in your notebook too, and you could just have those different little folder tabs, file tabs, and those can be just a way in your notebook to separate those things out so you're not wondering where that little sticky note is or whatever. Have some system in place so that when you do have that time, you can do it. And I tell you, just separating it out simply like this really, really helps. So another thing that you can do is to do like a time block. I did this at one point where my life just, I tend to not do so good with like 15-minute blocks of time. Some people do really well with like just jumping in and do that. I'm kind of like a put me all into it, because once I get going, I've got that momentum going. So something I really like to do, and I've done this multiple times, is I just time block my business. So I would do this, or like, okay, Mondays are for my business. I'm going to do all my booking calls on Mondays. And so when I have my business time, I just know that that's the main thing I'm focusing on. Tuesdays are for touching with my team, different things like that. Now, when I was homeschooling, I did it like this. I said, okay, I don't have a little bit of time every day to work on my business, but I could do it 2 days a week. And so for 2 days a week, I said Mondays and Thursdays are my Usborne time. And so I just spent time on those days. And the really cool thing when you do that is it keeps you from feeling guilty about the other things you're not doing during that time, because you already have time set aside for that. So that guilt thing that goes in there is like, oh, I should be spending time with my kids. You don't have to worry about that, because you will be. It just isn't during this time. This time is your work time, and then you already have time set aside for your kids. So it works out really good like that. And when you're with your kids, you're not feeling guilty that you should be working, because you already have a time set for that. I tell you, it solves so many problems. It really makes things easy. Look at your calendar, figure out your business hours, so key, and then actually stick to them, and you'll find your business start to take shape.